Welcome back to English Compass. What does winning actually look like? In sports, it looks like a trophy. In business, it looks like a promotion. In exams, it looks like a high score. But what does winning look like in English learning? Many learners believe it looks like speaking perfectly without hesitation. It looks like understanding every word in a fast conversation. It looks like never making grammar mistakes. When they compare themselves to this image, they feel like they are losing. They feel behind. They feel frustrated. They tell themselves, I'm just not a natural language learner. Some people have it. I don't. But here is a quiet psychological truth. Winning is not an event. It is a cognitive pattern. It is not about being flawless. It is about how you respond to friction. It is about how you interpret mistakes. It is about what you focus on when progress feels invisible. Champions in every field do not win because they are perfect. They win because their minds are trained to convert pressure into focus, setbacks into data, and effort into identity. Today, we will explore the exact psychology behind a winning mindset. Not as a motivational speech, as a practical, research-backed system. You will learn how to reframe speaking anxiety. You will discover why process focus outperforms outcome obsession. You will see how to build emotional regulation for real conversations. And you will get a clear daily framework to train your mind for consistent progress in English. You do not need to be naturally talented. You do not need perfect conditions. You need a trained mind, a resilient perspective, a repeatable system. Before we begin, take a slow breath. Place your hand over your chest. Say this out loud. I do not measure winning by perfection. I measure it by presence. I will train my mind. I will trust my process. Good. Let's step into the psychology of steady victory. The myth of natural winners and the psychology of process. Let's begin with a hard truth. Natural talent is a myth we use to explain visible success. We see someone speak English fluently. We hear their smooth pronunciation. We notice their quick comprehension. And we assume they were born with it. But psychology and neuroscience tell a different story. Fluency is not inherited. It is constructed through repetition, through feedback, through deliberate attention, through mindset. Research by psychologist Carol Dweck identified two core belief systems that determine how people approach challenges: fixed mindset and growth mindset. A fixed mindset says, my abilities are set. If I struggle, it means I lack talent. If I make mistakes, it means I'm failing. A growth mindset says, my abilities are built. If I struggle, it means I'm stretching. If I make mistakes, it means I'm collecting data. If I feel stuck, it means my brain is reorganizing. Many English learners operate from a fixed mindset without realizing it. They attach their self-worth to immediate results. They believe that if they practice for a week and still hesitate in conversations, they are not cut out for languages. They quit, not because they lack ability, because their mindset interprets friction as failure. Winning mindsets operate differently. They detach identity from outcomes. They attach identity to process. They do not say, I am a fluent speaker. They say, I am a person who practices speaking daily. This subtle shift changes everything. When your identity is tied to action, not achievement, you stop waiting for validation. You start building evidence. You practice because it is who you are, not because you need to prove something. I remember a learner named Julian. He prepared for an English certification exam for 6 months. He studied grammar rules. He memorized vocabulary lists. He took practice tests. But on exam day, he panicked. His mind went blank. He scored lower than expected. He felt defeated. He told himself, I guess I'm just not good at English. He stopped practicing. He closed his books. He accepted the fixed mindset verdict. Months later, we worked together to reframe his experience. I asked him, what if the exam didn't measure your ability? What if it measured your stress response under timed conditions? He paused. He realized he had never trained for pressure. He had trained for accuracy, but not for regulation. He had focused on the outcome, passing, but ignored the process, managing nerves, practicing under time limits, building recovery phrases. We shifted his training. He started simulating exam conditions. He practiced breathing techniques. He built a mental script for panic moments. He tracked daily consistency, not mock scores. 6 months later, he retook the exam. He passed. Not because his vocabulary doubled overnight, because his mindset shifted from outcome obsession to process mastery. This is the first pillar of winning psychology: process over outcome. Outcomes are lagging indicators. They show what you built in the past. Process is a leading indicator. It shows what you are building now. When you focus on what you can control today, the outcome takes care of itself. For English learners, this means stop measuring your worth by fluency milestones. Start measuring it by daily inputs. Did you listen for 10 minutes? Did you speak 3 sentences? Did you review 1 mistake? Did you pause instead of panic? These are winning actions. They compound. They rewire your brain. They build the foundation for visible results. Vocabulary in context. Listen to these 5 phrases. They will anchor today's framework. Fixed mindset, the belief that abilities are static and cannot be significantly developed. Growth mindset, the belief that skills improve through effort, feedback and strategy. Process orientation, focusing on daily actions and controllable inputs rather than distant results. Outcome attachment, tying self-worth and progress to external milestones or scores. Neural plasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and strengthen connections through repeated practice. Repeat after me. Fixed mindset. Growth mindset. Process orientation. Outcome attachment. Neural plasticity. Good. Keep these in mind. They explain why talent myths fade and why trained minds win consistently. Grammar focus, present perfect, this is simple past for mindset evolution. Notice how I described Julian's journey and your current path. He studied rules, he took practice tests, he panicked. Simple past, completed actions in a finished period. His mindset has shifted from outcome obsession to process mastery. Present perfect, past change with present impact. You have been building daily habits. They are compounding now. Present perfect. Continuous, sustained effort leading to current results. We use these tenses to separate old struggles from ongoing transformation. Repeat after me. I attached my worth to scores. I felt defeated. My focus has shifted to daily practice. I have been training my nervous system. My confidence is growing. Perfect. You're practicing narrative grammar that honors both past effort and present evolution. Cognitive reframing and the pressure to challenge shift. Now, let's look at what happens in your brain when you face pressure. When you prepare to speak English in a meeting, when you join a conversation group, when you take a speaking test, your heart beats faster, your breath shortens, your mind races. You feel tension. You interpret this as anxiety. You tell yourself, I'm nervous, I'm going to mess up, I should stay quiet. But psychology reveals a crucial distinction. Arousal is neutral. Interpretation determines performance. The same physiological response that you label as anxiety can be labeled as excitement or readiness. The difference is not in your body, it is in your cognition. This is called cognitive reappraisal. It is the mental skill of reframing a threat into a challenge. Research on stress and performance shows that people who view nervousness as a sign that their body is preparing for action perform significantly better than those who view it as a sign of failure. Their cortisol levels stabilize. Their working memory stays clear. Their speech flows more naturally. Why? Because the brain stops fighting the sensation. It channels it into focus. For English learners, this shift is transformative. You cannot eliminate pressure, but you can change how your brain labels it. Instead of saying, I'm so nervous, I'll forget everything, you say, my body is preparing, my brain is alert, I am ready to engage. Instead of, mistakes mean I'm failing, you say, mistakes mean my brain is testing new pathways, I'm collecting data. This is not positive thinking, it is cognitive accuracy. It aligns your mental model with biological reality. There are 3 steps to pressure to challenge reframing. Step 1. Name the sensation. Neutrality. Do not fight the physical response. Acknowledge it. My heart is beating faster, my palms are warm, my breath is shallow. Naming reduces fear. It moves the experience from the emotional brain to the analytical brain. You stop reacting. You start observing. Step 2. Assign purpose, meaning. Ask, what is this arousal doing for me? It increases blood flow to the brain. It sharpens attention. It prepares your vocal cords for articulation. It is not sabotage, it is support. Your body is gearing up for communication. Honor it. There are 3 steps to pressure to challenge reframing. Step 1. Name the sensation. Neutrality. Do not fight the physical response. Acknowledge it. My heart is beating faster, my palms are warm, my breath is shallow. Naming reduces fear. It moves the experience from the emotional brain to the analytical brain. You stop reacting. You start observing. Step 2. Assign purpose, meaning. Ask, what is this arousal doing for me? It increases blood flow to the brain. It sharpens attention. It prepares your vocal cords for articulation. It is not sabotage, it is support. Your body is gearing up for communication. Honor it. Step 3. Direct focus, action. Channel the energy into a specific, controllable task. Instead of, don't mess up, which creates fear. Use, speak one clear sentence, pause, listen, respond. Action replaces panic. Focus replaces freeze. Step 3. Direct focus, action. Channel the energy into a specific, controllable task. Instead of, don't mess up, which creates fear. Use, speak one clear sentence, pause, listen, respond. Action replaces panic. Focus replaces freeze. I once coached a learner named Maya who froze during job interviews in English. She prepared extensively, but under pressure, her mind blanked. She interpreted her rapid heartbeat as proof of inadequacy. We applied cognitive reappraisal. Before each interview, she said aloud, "My body is energizing for communication. I am prepared. I will focus on listening, then responding clearly." She stopped fighting her nerves. She used them. Her speech became calmer. Her answers became structured. She received 2 offers, not because her English improved overnight, because her relationship with pressure changed. This is the second pillar of winning psychology. Reframe, don't resist. Pressure is not the enemy. Resistance to pressure is. When you accept your nervous system's response, you free up mental energy for communication. You stop leaking focus into self-judgment. You start directing it into clarity. Many learners believe that winning minds never feel doubt. This is false. Winning minds feel doubt, but they do not obey it. They acknowledge it. They question it. They redirect it. They say, doubt is present, but it is not in charge. My process is in charge. This is cognitive maturity. It is the foundation of resilient performance. Speaking practice, reframe drill. Pause the video. I will give you a threat-based thought. You will reframe it into a challenge-based statement out loud. Take 3 seconds, speak it clearly. Threat, I'm going to forget my words. Reframe, my brain is alert. I will pause, breathe, and choose clear phrases. Threat, everyone will notice my accent. Reframe, my accent is part of my journey. I will focus on clarity, not comparison. Threat, if I hesitate, I'll look unprofessional. Reframe, pauses show thoughtfulness. I will use them to structure my response. Good. You are training your brain to convert friction into focus. Vocabulary in context. Cognitive reappraisal, the mental process of reinterpreting a stressor as a challenge or opportunity. Physiological arousal, the body's natural activation response, increased heart rate, alertness, energy. Threat response, interpreting pressure as danger, which triggers avoidance or panic challenge mindset. Interpreting pressure as preparation, which triggers focus and engagement. Cognitive maturity, the ability to acknowledge doubt without letting it dictate behavior. Repeat after me. Cognitive reappraisal, physiological arousal, threat response, challenge mindset, cognitive maturity. You are learning to partner with your nervous system, not fight it. Grammar note, conditionals for scenario planning. Notice how I frame cause and effect. If I reframe pressure as preparation, my focus will stabilize. If I name the sensation, my anxiety will decrease. If I direct my energy to action, my performance will improve. First conditionals show realistic outcomes of cognitive shifts. They are perfect for self-coaching and mental rehearsal. Repeat after me. If I accept my nerves, they will fuel my clarity. If I pause before speaking, my words will flow naturally. If I focus on listening, my responses will become precise. Excellent. You are practicing logical structure that supports resilient decision-making. The 4 pillars of a winning mindset, applied to English. Theory is powerful, but practice is transformative. Let's build the exact architecture of a winning mindset. This is not about motivation, it is about structure. It rests on 4 pillars. Each one is evidence-based, each one is repeatable. Each one protects you from burnout, comparison, and self-doubt. Theory is powerful, but practice is transformative. Let's build the exact architecture of a winning mindset. This is not about motivation, it is about structure. It rests on 4 pillars. Each one is evidence-based, each one is repeatable. Each one protects you from burnout, comparison, and self-doubt. Pillar 1. Controllable focus. The 80-20 rule of attention. You cannot control how fast others speak. You cannot control the topic of conversation. You cannot control your accent overnight. You can control your preparation, your breathing, your willingness to ask for clarification, your decision to practice daily. Winning minds invest 80% of their mental energy on controllables. They release the rest. When you focus on what you can influence, you reduce anxiety. You increase agency. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstance. You start feeling like an architect of progress. Pillar 2. Feedback integration, data over drama. Mistakes are not verdicts. They are diagnostics. A wrong tense tells you where to practice. A forgotten word tells you where to build retrieval pathways. A misunderstood phrase tells you where to adjust listening strategy. Losing minds dramatize errors. I'm terrible. I'll never improve. Winning minds analyze them. What pattern caused this? How do I adjust next time? This is called feedback loop thinking. It replaces shame with curiosity. It turns setbacks into blueprints. It keeps you moving forward when others quit. Pillar 3. Nervous system regulation. Rest as strategy. High performers do not push through exhaustion. They respect recovery. The brain consolidates language during sleep. Neural pathways strengthen during rest. Emotional regulation improves with downtime. When you skip rest, you skip integration. You force effort without allowing absorption. Winning minds schedule recovery like they schedule practice. They know that a tired brain makes more mistakes. A rested brain learns faster. They do not confuse burnout with dedication. They protect their energy for long-term consistency. Pillar 4. Identity anchoring. Who, not what. Goals expire. Identities endure. If your goal is pass B2 exam, you stop when you pass. If your identity is, I am a consistent English communicator, you continue. Identity-based performance removes the finish line. It creates lifelong momentum. You practice because it is who you are. You speak because it aligns with your values. You recover because you respect your system. When your identity matches your habits, discipline becomes effortless. You do not force yourself to practice. You cannot imagine not practicing. I remember a learner named Amir who applied all 4 pillars simultaneously. He stopped chasing exam scores. He focused on daily controllables. 15 minutes of listening, 10 minutes of speaking, 5 minutes of review. He tracked mistakes without judgment. He scheduled 2 rest days weekly. He anchored his identity. I am a learner who shows up. After 6 months, his teacher noted a dramatic shift. His speech was calmer, His listening was sharper, his confidence was steady, not because he studied harder, because he studied smarter, because his mindset protected his consistency. This is the winning truth. Success is not an explosion. It is a compounding routine. It lives in the quiet choices, the daily returns, the gentle corrections, the protected rest, the identity alignment. When you build these pillars, you do not need motivation. You have structure. When you have structure, you do not need perfection. You have progress. When you have progress, you do not need validation. You have evidence. Interactive practice. Pillar integration. Pause the video. Choose one pillar to apply today. Say your commitment out loud. Today, I will focus on controllables by. Today, I will integrate feedback by. Today, I will regulate my nervous system by. Today, I will anchor my identity by. Boom. Example. Today, I will focus on controllables by practicing for 20 minutes without checking scores. Today, I will integrate feedback by tracking one mistake and correcting it calmly. Speak it clearly. Mean it. Good. You are designing a mindset that survives plateaus. Vocabulary in context. Controllable focus. Directing attention only to factors within your direct influence. Feedback integration. Treating errors as diagnostic data for strategic adjustment, nervous system regulation, using rest, breath, and pacing to maintain optimal learning states. Identity anchoring. Aligning daily actions with a long-term self-concept, not short-term goals. Compounding routine. A repeatable system where small daily actions multiply into significant results. Repeat after me. Controllable focus. Feedback integration. Nervous system regulation. Identity anchoring. Compounding routine. You are building psychological architecture, not just study habits. Grammar focus, modals for self-regulation and strategic planning. Notice how I frame guidance. You should focus on what you can control. You can track mistakes without drama. You must protect your rest days. You will build identity through consistent action. Modals express recommendation, possibility, necessity, and future results. They are perfect for mindset design. Repeat after me. I should release what I cannot change. I can treat errors as feedback. I must schedule recovery intentionally. I will align my habits with my identity. Perfect. You're practicing grammar that supports strategic self-management. Your winning mindset, daily framework. Mindset becomes reality through routine. Here is your 4-step winning mindset framework. It applies cognitive psychology to your daily English practice. It is simple, it is sustainable, it works for listening, speaking, reading, writing, and real-world communication. Step 1. Morning priming. Identity plus. Controllable focus. Before your day begins, spend 3 minutes anchoring your mindset. Say your identity statement aloud. I am a consistent English communicator. Then, review your controllables. Today, I will focus on 15 minutes of listening, 10 minutes of speaking, and calm breathing before conversations. This sets your neural tone. It replaces outcome anxiety with process clarity. It prepares your brain for engaged action. Step 2. Deliberate practice block. Feedback integration. During your practice session, track one specific metric, not overall fluency, one controllable input. Example, I will pause before answering, or I will use one recovery phrase when I forget a word. After practicing, note what worked. Note what needs adjustment. Do not judge. Observe. Write one sentence. My pause helped me choose clearer words. This builds feedback integration. It turns practice into data. It replaces frustration with refinement. Step 3. Evening recovery, nervous system regulation. Before bed, spend 5 minutes downshifting. No screens, no English apps. Just breath. Inhale for 4. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Repeat 5 times. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system. It lowers cortisol. It prepares your brain for memory consolidation. Rest is not laziness. It is strategy. Winning minds protect recovery like they protect practice. Step 4. Weekly reflection, identity reinforcement. Once a week, review your practice log. Ask, did I show up consistently? Did I treat mistakes as feedback? Did I honor my rest? Did I act as the communicator I want to become? Celebrate presence, adjust patterns, update your identity statement if needed. Example: change. I want to speak fluently to I speak clearly and recover gracefully. This reinforces long-term alignment. It keeps momentum alive. Total time, 25-30 minutes daily. Focused, regulated, consistent. This framework replaces scattered effort with intentional design. It builds psychological resilience through structure, not willpower. Daily template practice. Pause the video. Fill this template out loud. My identity anchor is. My controllable focus today is. My feedback metric is. My recovery practice is. Example: my identity anchor is I am a consistent communicator. My controllable focus today is 15 minutes of shadowing. My feedback metric is pausing before answering. My recovery practice is 5 deep breaths before bed. Say it twice, clear, committed, realistic. Vocabulary in context. Morning priming, setting cognitive and emotional tone before daily practice. Controllable focus, directing energy only to factors within your direct influence. Feedback metric, a single, measurable behavior to track for continuous improvement. Nervous system regulation, intentional practices that calm the body and prepare the brain for rest. Identity reinforcement, weekly review that aligns habits with long-term self-concept. Repeat after me, morning priming. Controllable focus. Feedback metric. Nervous system regulation. Identity reinforcement. You are engineering a learning life that thrives on consistency, not intensity. Grammar focus, future with will for commitment and self-regulation. Notice how I frame daily promises. I will anchor my identity before practice. I will track one controllable metric. I will protect my recovery time. I will align my habits with my identity weekly. Will expresses strong determination and clear intention. It strengthens your resolve and clarifies your path. Repeat after me. I will focus on process, not perfection. I will treat mistakes as feedback. I will honor rest as strategy. Excellent. You are programming your mind for resilient, long-term growth. Your 21-day mindset challenge. Winning is not a moment. It is a mindset. It is not about being flawless. It is about being consistent. It is not about avoiding pressure. It is about channeling it. It is not about collecting trophies. It is about building identity. You do not need perfect English to win. You need a trained mind. You do not need to eliminate doubt. You need to question it. You do not need to chase motivation. You need to protect your process. You do not need to be the best in the room. You need to be the most consistent in your practice. Start today. Prime your morning. Track your feedback. Regulate your nervous system. Reinforce your identity. Let your English journey become a quiet accumulation of daily returns. Let your progress become a compound curve, not a flat line. Let your mindset become unbreakable, not because you never struggle, but because you always adapt. I invite you to a 21-day challenge. Follow the winning mindset framework. Prime daily, track feedback, regulate intentionally, reinforce weekly. Notice the hesitation shrink, notice the clarity grow. Notice English become a sustainable practice, not a stressful test. When you are ready, comment below. Day 1. I focus on process. I reframe pressure. I honor rest. I align my identity. I train to win. I will read every comment. I will reply to your journey. This channel is not just for learners, it is for mindset builders. And you are building something lasting. Subscribe to English Compass for more stories, graded listening practice, and step-by-step fluency systems. Turn on notifications. Your next breakthrough is not in a longer study session. It is in your next trained response. Before you go, place your hand over your heart. Repeat this final line with me. I do not chase perfection. I cultivate consistency. I reframe pressure. I honor recovery. I anchor my identity. My mindset is my advantage. See you tomorrow. Keep priming. Keep tracking. Keep regulating. The winning path is yours.